Ke tasi o Faumuina lea mai. E peo nisi o tinai na umatu sa o le. Whiwa na fofo po hame le le iai po ai ta leni. Awabe tu so o tuai luma I. Ia ele ia se mea o te le le iai. Ele le sa o pese, ele le se ia a whatu lea tuai. Au mai ele me na sariona o fia fia e whai. O le mea o te fia fia e whai. O te fia fia e share atu. Se scripture mai la whionga pa ia le atua. That's the only thing I believe. O te lelea ia uia ia te haulaka ia. I don't know pia le asatou whaafonga ia. I lo tari tonunga. Pea ta ua leo so ia pea. Just before I start. Se whai atua la utarani te ua ngalo. O tato tari ni uma ia lo uma atu. E apu e whele apa. E le te tayo wa ai sau se la fosa ngai te a. Te le lope ai se a. Ai fo meta to e kana sia. E le ano lo fai ia te a. Ai fa. O fa tu le so le ngai mieta. E fo me ano fai ia te a, ni ko se tu mai se la fosa funciona la apa. No, it's only a joke. But anyway, alo lo fa mai. O te sau nei mato fa ni wala mai se tu rua. O fai atu hani. Ka tali atu. So walo mo mo e fela tali ni no sa welo le ave o e fo mai. Amen. Ona o te lo ia le fa malo lo ngali atua. Le ala le na wala ni fa tasi mai nei bo e tu sa fa pe malo si e sa la. Ia ai ola tali ni ia fiafi. Ia sa o tala puwa le sunga ya masoya le tayao. I have nothing at all. My wallet is empty. Ia le tua lea fiafi. You know, ona tale. O te fia shea ina atu. Ia lea ia na sani ona tala roa mai tatu tama. O aso uma lava o te alo e tamani. Pe ona ta ole uso ia pea. O te mawhau lava o ia e sitianga. I'm always thinking, this is not a lie. I'm always thinking about a rapture. You know why? Because I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready. Because itegi umalawa te manatu ya oia te oiwa e sauni. E se alawa aia te oia e se le whausilongane tua. You know, you look at yourself and you think, God, I'm going to go to heaven. I'm gonna make it. But you know why I say that I might not make it? Because God doesn't look at how many times I come to church. Thank you, sis. God doesn't look at how I dress to church. God doesn't look at how I read the Bible in the church. God doesn't look at how much money I put in this. God doesn't look at anything like that. You may look at me and think, oh, she's so good, she's perfect. She's always at church, you know, she does good. But no, don't look at me that way. Because I don't look at me that way. Because you know why? God looks on the inside.
Amen.
Do you know that? We smile at each other.
Amen.
We shake hands with each other.
Amen.
We always hug each other and say, I love you. But you know what? Inside of us, where the problem is, that's why we don't make it.
Amen.
Because if you don't have forgiveness in your heart, as I was reading Matthew chapter 6, verse 14 and 15, it says, if you don't forgive those who are wrong against you, God will never forgive us. So think about it. What else do we need? I mean, what else? If God doesn't forgive us, then that's it. If God doesn't forgive us because we don't forgive others, that's it. We don't make it.
Amen.
I look at inside of me. I look, if I don't forgive any of you, God will not forgive me.
Yes.
If I have an unforgiveness heart, it makes me sick. It really does. If I don't forgive you, I will plan a lot of things to make somebody, someone that I'm not forgiving. I will always be thinking of something to go against that person.
Hallelujah.
That is my talent, sharing something that's in my heart.
Yes.
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13 to 16. From I prepare your heart for action. Prepare your mind. Or the heart is not talking about here. The heart is here.
Amen.
Because as we know, everything comes from the mind.
Amen.
Everything. You plan to hate somebody, it comes from the mind.
Yes.
You plan to not forgive somebody, it comes from here. Everything is happening in the world. It's happening because of the way the mind works.
Amen.
And so in Peter says, make sure that you prepare your mind. How? The question is, if I don't make it to the rapture, how? How can I prepare my mind?
Praise God.
Forgive others. Those little things that we have, or those little things, is not forgiving someone. It's the cause, unforgiving someone is the cause of everything that we do.
Amen.
All of a sudden we think too much. And then all of a sudden you think that you hate someone. Even if that person doesn't hate you. All of a sudden you are planning something in your mind to make that person, feel bad. But my encouragement tonight is, let's encourage each other.
Praise
We are now at end times. We are now, do you think you're going to make it to the rapture?
Hallelujah.
Do you know if the rapture was about to happen right now?
Amen.
Do you really think inside of you that you're going to make it? I'm not.
Amen.
I'm not going to make it. But I'd like to. Which is the reason why I said I want to prepare my mind.
Praise the Lord.
You know what? I said to myself, I want to prepare myself. I don't worry about others. I want to prepare my own self. Because we're too busy looking at each other.
Amen.
We're too busy looking at other families. Too busy looking at somebody else.
Hallelujah.
We are together and we have to prepare together.
Amen.
You know why? What's the point of the world? What is the point of gaining the whole world if we lose our chance in heaven? I'm going to show a little clip that someone sent me. It's about the rapture. And I believe this is exactly what's going to happen. Before I continue my testimony this evening, I want to play this and it won't be far away. Because I am on my way to preparing myself.
Praise God.
And may God bless your heart.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. Just be patient, please. Okay, when I read it, I'm afraid to play. Can you play the sound, please? And you see all the clothing everywhere. That was during the church.
and the rapture has happened. Everyone has been taken, but not the whole church. All of the time, you see that all on the ua, I've been listening to but the question is, that lady's crying because she said, I thought I was saved. I thought that I would make it to the rapture. But she comes to church every Sunday. She worships God every Sunday. She gives her tithe every Sunday. And I know what took her the rapture. She didn't go, and she said to herself, I really thought I was going to make it. I really thought I was going to make it. That's how I think. That's exactly how I think every time. I really think. Didn't I say that I would come to church today? But I'm too late. I'm too late. She tried, but once we miss out on the rapture, that's it. I'm not thinking of a second chance. I'm thinking of the rapture. If I miss out on the rapture, I've missed out. So, thank you, Tayana. I apologize for that.
Amen.
What I'm trying to deliver here is taking God seriously. Is really taking the time that we have right here, right now. You know, because I don't know if anybody ever thinks about it every day, but I do. It's not just for me, but for my family. I say to God, what is the point? What is the point if my family, my boys, my daughter, my son, my husband, myself, what's the point of how many years I've been going to church? Why I waste my time if I don't make it? So I want to look at myself this way. I said to myself, I want to work on myself, because this is not something that you would like to take lightly.
Amen.
When the rapture happens, some of your family will go and some will stay back.
Yes.
And the question is, who's going to go and who's going to stay back? You know, we are spending a lot of time judging others.
Amen.
Like I said, the mind is the problem. The reason why we do what we do is because it's all here.
Amen.
Satan wants to stir our minds so that we don't do, God's work. But we need to shake him off and say to ourselves, no way. I don't want to miss out on this rapture. Every time I drive a car, I'm always expecting that people will be taken at that time.
Amen.
And then I said to myself, if those people are taken, and I'm still here, then what? There's no other way. If you miss the rapture, then there's only one way.
Yes.
And that's my talent. It's just sharing what I always think about every day.
Amen. Praise God.
You may look at me and you think I'm perfect, or I'm not. No way, I'm far from it, because it's not the outside. It's really what you think about in the inside. That's how we make it to heaven. It's how we are here and in our hearts. So if there is someone here that hasn't forgiven anybody for a long, long time, and even if you've talked to that person and smiled to that person and get along just in front of people, what about your heart? What about the inner person? That's what God wants us to be prepared for. And you know what? Don't get too close to your friends. This is advice from my mom. Because you know why? Don't get too close. I mean, that's why I love everybody.
Praise God.
I get along with everybody. And I will not worry if anybody talks about anything. You know why? I'm my own person. I come by myself. I go by myself. I'm at home. I don't go to somebody else's house. I stay at home. I read my Bible. Sometimes I pray. It's not for myself.
Praise the
You're not going to take me to heaven. I take myself.
Amen.
So my advice, I'm sorry, but this is just who I am. And you know, I don't know. I just want all of us to, you know, encourage. I want you to come along and say, Ruth, be strong, because it won't be far away. It's not far away. Wouldn't that be nice if everybody say that to each other? Instead of at each other's back or planning something, you know, against somebody?
Amen.
Oh, well. Because the more you plan against somebody, you are the one that's not going to make it.
Amen.
But that person is going to make it.
Praise the Lord.
So may God bless each and every one of us. And that is my message this evening. And may God bless you. I'm going to sing a song. And this song I've only just prepared today. God is on the mountain. And God is also in the valley.
Amen.
So can I start again, please? Life is easy when you're up on the mountain and you've got peace of mind like you never know. But things change when you're down in the valley. Don't lose faith, for you're never alone. For the God of the mountains is the God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times, He's the God in the bad times. The God of the day is your God in the night. You talk of faith when you're up on the mountain. Talk comes easy when life's at its best. But down in the valley, there's trials and temptations. That's when your faith will be put to the test. For the God on the mountain, He's the God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make it right. And the God of the good times, He's the God in the bad times. The God of the day, He's your God in the night. The God of the day, He's your God in the night. So for you sing.
Malava.